Pisces, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to your funny and your most favorite Armenian guy, where I serve and I slay. So, dear Pisceana and Pisceanos, today I'm going to be doing your twin flame reading for the month of November. And in this reading, I'm going to take a look at the main energy between you and your twin flame. I'm going to see what happened in the past, present, and future, clarify all the cards, and get some final advice and pull some messages of love. Now, dear Pisces, I would like to express and extend my gratitude to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here, dear Pisces. I greatly appreciate you, love you so much. Because you're watching this reading, I would like to also kindly remind that, yes, this is a twin flame reading, which can be very intense. And you already know the signs and synchronicities if you're watching this. Because you're a Pisces, you know all the things about spiritual. But this is a general reading, so it's not going to resonate with everyone. This is a very specific situation. Not everyone gets to be in a twin flame journey, on a twin flame journey. So if you know the intensity and all that, separation, runner and chaser, you know what I'm saying? So let's see what's going on for you, dear Pisces. Okay, so dear Pisces, the energy between you and your twin flame is the Six of Swords. And what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the Justice. So Pisces, it looks like that both of you are on a healing journey. There is definitely some kind of transition happening in the month of November for you and your twin flame. Six of Swords here shows being on a body of water, on a ship. It's an indication of a transition. Very significant transition. For many of you, I do strongly feel like here that there is something that was very toxic that happened in the past that you and your twin flame had to overcome. And I think something got in the way. Addiction, bad habit, third party, whatever. We're going to clarify to see, how this healing journey is going to unfold for you, and is it going to bring you and them together? And if so, how? In the recent past, you have the Five of Wands and the Three of Pentacles and the Devil. So in the recent past, it's very clear. No matter how much you and your twin flame, dear Pisces, try to really put in the hard work and work things out together, right? You were in the middle of building this relationship. As you can see with the Three of Pentacles, building something, the Devil, and the Five of Wands. There was, I don't like to talk about those things, but something super unhealthy that really came to the surface between you and this person. I'm getting here addictions, habits, compulsive behavior, third party, arguments, external influences, right? So we're going to get back to this and clarify shortly. In the present moment, you have the Judgment, the Star, and the Strength. Some of you are dealing with an Aquarius. I'm getting here strong Scorpio and very strong Leo energy in the present moment. Could be a Capricorn also. So for many of you, and Taurus, I do see here Pisces in the present moment. There is a major realization about this connection and healing it and how it's going to work out. I want to mention something. I have not mentioned this before in a twin flame reading. I don't know if you are suspecting. Okay, so you have two people in your energy. Like, I'm strongly getting here, two individuals, and you're trying to understand which one is really your twin flame. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm strongly getting here, okay? You're really trying to make sense of this whole situation here. So you have the Star and the Strength. Two individuals, you have suspicion one of them could be a false karmic or whatever, The twin flame journey, I'm sure you already know about this, but it's very intense. It leads you to your spiritual awakening and to some sort of a spiritual ascension and your journey. If you're dealing with someone that's like super toxic, super toxic, there is no healing, there is nothing, I don't think that's your twin flame. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm seeing here two people and it's very challenging, but we're going to find out more. Now, in the near future, you have the Chariot, the King of Wands, and the Seven of Pentacles. So in the near future, I do see here moving forward progress. I do see here moving forward with some sort of progress. There is going to be a reevaluation with the Seven of Pentacles of where you actually and your twin flame see truly where this connection is going to go to. But I think your biggest challenge here in the month of November is you're really asking yourself, is this my twin flame or not? Like, that's one of the biggest things that you're asking. And I've never really had this coming up in a reading. So let's get into your reading and let's clarify everything for you. So I'm going to clarify the Six of Swords for you and see what is it that you need to know. What kind of a healing journey are you guys on? And there is transition. Maybe you're choosing to disconnect from your twin flame for now. Also, that could be the case for many of you. So the Six of Swords is clarified by the Ten of Swords, the Death card here, and the High Priestess. Yeah. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing here. You are manifesting a brand new beginning, but in order for you to really have that happen, I think a lot of you are still in this process of transmuting this pain. You're someone that you're an alchemist and you know how to work with energies, you know how to transmute pain. So, I mean, it's very obvious here that this situation that ended between you and your twin flame was very painful, and it really has led you to have a spiritual transformation and awakening. The Death card and the High Priestess is all about spirituality and knowing the hidden things, right? And you being ruled by the Neptune, you are very much well connected to the spiritual realm, okay? To the dreams and visions and illusions and everything. So you could be very dreamy. I mean, that's totally fine. I think it's just you really trying to understand the depth of this connection and the meaning, like, why did this person come into my life and why do I have to go through another ego, I don't know, death process? And you might be saying, Arman, like, dude, you're not gonna believe me, but I have been going through metamorphosis, purging, and transformation almost every week, every month of this year. I'm not gonna be surprised. Okay, so I've been doing your readings, Pisces, so I know what you have been going through energetically. For a lot of you, I think this healing journey is really propelling you and your twin flame to maybe depart and just go on different paths right now to heal, so that you both can come back together and make something happen. Okay, so let's get into the recent past here and see what is it that you need to know. So let's clarify the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands in the recent past is clarified by the Four of Swords, the Fool, and the Nine of Wands. You and your person you and your twin flame had probably quite a few on and off situations together. There is the Lovers. Now, a lot of fears of having a brand new beginning, a lot of fears surrounding starting over with your twin flame. Anytime you and your twin flame would come back together and would want to have a brand new beginning, there is the Nine of Wands, past hurts, past traumas, situations that happened in the past, kind of resurfacing in, manifesting in the form of like behaviors and habits and certain things that was very triggering. And I think that for many of you, it really kind of took a toll on you, just being with someone that was constantly on and off or was very inconsistent with you. I do see here in the recent past being at the verge of like having a brand new beginning, everything was going to work out, but something very unhealthy and toxic kind of came into the way and affected this connection. Let's clarify the Three of Pentacles for you in the recent past, dear Pisces. So the Three of Pentacles, what I'm getting here is that you and this person were trying to build this connection, clarified by the Ten of Wands, the Two of Wands, and the Justice. Remember when I said the word trying? Look at the Ten of Wands. Look at the Ten of Wands. Look at the Ten of Wands, trying, and it was very heavy. I think you might have dealt with someone that maybe the idea or the notion of relationship and commitment became very heavy. Justice. Maybe also there were some legal matters here. Maybe someone here was either married with someone or there was some sort of paperwork documentation thing that needed to be done. Some of you and your twin flame separated. You and your twin flame might have come from two different cultures and backgrounds as well. I do strongly feel like here a lot of traveling plans that you had with this person, a lot of travel plans, and it didn't happen. So let's talk about the Devil for you in the recent past. Something super toxic, super unhealthy, just kind of like really affected you with the Devil. So the Devil in the recent past is clarified by the King of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Magician. Can I ask you a question, Pisces? Just be honest with me. This is you and I talking. Why do you always gotta... Why don't you settle down? Why don't you sit down, honey, and let people to learn from their mistakes? Even you knew that there was something that was unhealthy and something that it was super toxic, you still try to give this person another chance. You still try to work it out with this person. And that person is your twin flame. We understand that the connection can be very intense, but it's like I'm seeing here a lot of lust and a lot of physical chemistry, but it could have turned into something a little bit detrimental because too much of anything can be real bad. You know what I'm saying? And I keep it very real, Pisceana. My Saturn is in Pisces. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that for many of you, you had to learn a lesson here, and your twin flame as well, of balance, of being honest with each other. And this is just, again, it's a mirroring, projecting situation. It's a game. And I feel like that in the past, you and this person, it's just like you both would separate, but then also would come back to each other. But then also this whole unhealthy things would get in the way. And because of those traumas and situations and toxicity, unhealed wounds, if they get into the way, it really affects the relationship and it really deteriorates the connection. You know what I mean? And I feel like that for a lot of you in the past, you were faced with this situation, but you still thought about giving this person another chance. And this is why, Pisces, I've been really like talking to you about this. You need to set some healthy boundaries with people. You need to sometimes be very strict with saying no, because in Armenian we say one no will save you from 1,000 troubles. So setting boundaries with a lot of people, especially even with your twin flame, because you just constantly either gave or sat there and waited, and you might have even endured or overlooked through certain things and kind of compromised and conformed, and it took a toll on you. Now you're having a realization. It could have been that just might as well. Your twin flame reading seems to be very complicated because I do see here, like, again, in the present moment, you're kind of going back and forth between, was this my twin flame or there's someone else? Let's clarify the judgment, clarified by the Nine of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. Now, you're going back and forth because you're stressed out. You're trying to really understand deeply what is it that you really are being gravitated towards these two twin flames. And one of them is your twin flame. I don't know about the other one. This reading could maybe not gonna resonate with everyone. It's not going to, but I don't know why I'm picking up on you trying to understand that. There is someone here, I think your actual twin flame, the one that you really are gonna know, one of the signs. You're looking into stability. This is someone that may be a business person, business owner, or they're into business world. I'm seeing here someone being an accountant, financial advisor, something like that. Like, something about money. This person likes money or they like stability. Your twin flame. So the star is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. Okay, so for many of you, I think that you're dealing with someone with the star energy. Your actual twin flame, this is someone that truly wants to work things out with you, and sometimes they may come across as being either a little bit hasty or making decisions very quickly, or maybe they come across as being aggressive. But I think this is the twin flame of yours that you're going to form family with. The one that you really know that you're being gravitated towards. However, I feel like with this person, you're going to start a business. I think that's one of the signs you're going to know. There is something here about starting a business, having a money exchange type of a situation as well. Okay, so I don't know, maybe you already left the other karmic in the past, but things are actually changing for you in the present moment. The Strength, clarified by the Chariot, Seven of Wands, and the Judgment. Are you questioning whether a Leo is your twin flame or not? I don't know why I'm getting that. A Leo or an Aquarius for some of you. You're kind of questioning that. I don't know why. A very complex reading here, honestly. The Strength is what I'm clarifying. And it's clarified by the Judgment. I think you want to move forward with this Strength, with this Leo, but something is holding you back. Something's holding you back with the Seven of Wands. There is a lot of challenges, a lot of things from the past that might be really affecting you and your twin flame and this person moving forward together. I do feel like here that for many of you, there's two people. I don't know, Pisces. I've never happened before. Honestly, there is two people. There is two individuals. One of them is your twin flame. The other one is not what you think it is. Honestly, I'm going to leave it up to you to decide. I can't. I'm just seeing two very influential energies in front of you. And forgive me if I could be wrong. I'm just like trying to see make sense. And I mean, sometimes it doesn't make sense, you know, spirituality. Maybe it makes sense later when you watch this, later it becomes your story. But you're really in this process of you need to trust your intuition. The chariot is clarified by the tower, Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. I feel like that in the near future, what's going to end up happening is if you feel like that you could be having two people asking you for money, for support, asking you for something materialistic. The one that takes away from you and never gives back, never reciprocates, and it's just very one-sided, I think you're gonna walk away from that because you gotta watch out for one of the people here that they might like kind of affect your financial situation. You know, you have the Tower and the Nine of Pentacles. If you feel like your financial situation or your energy, there's like energy, money energy blocks and things are not working out well, that might be that you're dealing with someone that's kind of creating the blockages for you. You're gonna know sometimes in the readings. I just leave it up to the person to really experience it on their own, but I'm giving them with the word, you know. So the King of Wands is clarified by the Hierophant, Five of Cups, and the Strength again. So in the near future, I do see here a commitment happening between you and possibly a Leo or a Taurus, okay, or someone who has any of those birth chart, has any of those placements in their birth chart. I do see here getting over the past. I do see here the truth being revealed, and someone here is going to make it very clear towards you, and that is your twin flame, your actual twin flame. You seem to be really, really taking your time now, which is great. You have learned, Pisces, how to take some time out and how to really not rush into things. I think you're going to start reevaluating with the Seven of Pentacles of how much you want to invest into this twin flame relationship, because like I said, for many of you, there could be a moment where you both need to separate and go into different ways to heal. Because for a lot of you, I think it's been a very exhausting year. It hasn't been easy, and for you to go through another round of trying to figure it out, you're just not wanting to do that anymore. Doesn't mean you stop loving this person, but I think you're drawing the line. There is something about you drawing the line, especially if you've been dealing with a couple people who you felt with energetically very connected to. So the Seven of Pentacles is clarified by the Wheel of Fortune, the Three of Swords, and the Two of Cups. You know, I'm gonna say this, I don't like to say this kind of stuff, but when they say time heals, sometimes we need time. Sometimes we need time to heal ourselves, and we need time to really just focus on our self growth, and you know, recognize that even though this twin flame journey of yours has brought a lot of heartache and heart pain with you, for you, what are you going to choose? What are you going to choose? What are you going to end up choosing? The Wheel of Fortune is about your fortune, your money, your success. So for many of you, I do strongly feel like here that there is going to be a strong realization about, you know, being in a relationship with your twin flame that is pretty much free from like harm, free from like heartache and pain. Will there be glitches? Yes. You know, and everyone has free will. We're not here to force anything on anyone. You know, you might be here spiritually, Pisces, which I feel like you are, and your twin flame could be fluctuating or going up and down. They need to be on your level. They need to match your freak. They need to match your frequency in order for them to be with you. Because this is a situation right here that, you know, the Wheel of Fortune is allowing us to learn the lesson, turn the page, and move towards into a new chapter. If we don't learn the lesson, there is a possibility of repeating the same things and end up being heartbroken again, because something here in the past with the devil was just not healthy. And you know, when you do the work, when you do the shadow work, when you transmit and you heal, you gotta also look for the signs and synchronicities and the patterns when the person comes back and something happens between you and them and you are trying to work it out. Gotta see if they're still repeating the same patterns or not in order for you and them to be together, because you could be putting yourself under a risk. So let's see, what is the advice for you, dear Pisces? What is it that you need to know? So Pisces, you have the Magician, the Five of Cups, and the Page of Cups. The piece of advice here, the biggest piece of advice that I can give you, dear Pisces, is remember that when it comes to manifestation, you set an intention to manifest for what's best for you. You are ready to give love. I think you are getting ready to really pour your heart out there with the page of with the page of cups, right? Open up yourself, but remember the lessons. Don't remember, we don't have to remember the pain, we don't have to remember the situations that really disappointed us. What lesson did we learn from this? And you just don't want to, you want to make sure that you are not putting yourself in a situation where you're going to end up with the 5 of Cups energy again, feeling disappointed, feeling that this situation turned out to be in a way that really caused you another heartbreak and heartache that we already talked about. So just choosing who you give your life wisely, even if it's your twin flame. Let's see what is the messages of love. I think honestly, this was one of the most complex readings that I've done, Pisceana, and I only do water signs in one day. So the message here is what? Self-care. Clear your energy field and focus on yourself before acting. Literally double confirmation here. And at the bottom of the deck here, this message, it says time, distance, and it says some distance will help bring clarity, right? So I feel like that for you, dear Pisces, this is about really just recognizing that if you and your person are going to need to depart and be at some sort of a distance for some time and heal, then that's going to actually glue you and them back together stronger if that's the case. Because we don't want to rush into anything. And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat. I always keep it very real, very honest. And that's some sassy shit out there. You already know that. So this is about putting the focus on you, pouring everything into yourself. Remember, I did talk about in the past that you constantly gave and gave and gave and gave, even though things were toxic. I think that's what you're really learning right now and understanding that, you know what, I need to prioritize myself, put them off of the pedestal. Doesn't mean I stop loving them, but it just means that I know my priorities and my boundaries. So dear Pisces, this is what I had for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.